Chapter 6, An Unpleasant Encounter.
Welcome to Nancy's entire life experience.
Wah, wah. In spite of Nancy Drew's firm decision to assist the Horner girls, the days slipped by. Wow! And try as she would, she could think of no way to discover whether or not the missing Crowley will had fallen into the hands of the Tophams.
I love her just sitting in the house going, man, if only I could come up with the first step. Maybe I'll do it next year. Nancy, you're not helping!
Although she seldom discussed the case with her father, for obvious reasons. He knew that she was being tortured by it.
So Look, I know it's not the case that's troubling you. It's the fact that you were born. You're worrying about the Horner girls he observed one day. And when he realized he still had a child. I'm afraid you're taking their misfortunes too seriously. Remember, this is... Anybody who's poor chose to be that way when they went through that poor person exam in middle school. You remember. You just had to check a box, you know? The same way that you do to go to the Sadie Hawkins dance. It's just like, you want to be poor? And then they get kicked out. And then they just have to eat themselves.
Yee.
This is the real world, Nancy. There's nothing you can do without the will, and you'd best forget about it. You know what, I'm going to sound like Mark Wahlberg as much as possible today. It's not Mark Wahlberg, but let's pretend together. Why, you've scarcely been out of the house since the Horner girls were here. Go shopping or anything. Actually, don't take my credit card. If you could, just lay on the sidewalk and burn. Take your mind from the subject.
Father, why do you sound a lot like Mark Wahlberg today?
I don't. He isn't alive. Never has been. This is the way I talk, you know?
I have been thinking about Allie and Grace, Nancy admitted with a rueful smile. Whatever that means. I was so sure I could do something for them.
Give your mind a rest, and perhaps you'll have an inspiration. If that's a way to put it, Mr. Drew encouraged her kindly. Maybe you get touched by Jesus a bit too hard, and go to heaven so I don't have to see you.
Alright, I'll take your advice and go shopping. Though I really haven't a thing to buy, the fresh air will do me good, I suppose. As long as whatever the names of the two Topham girls are don't come back to the same store I go to.
Honestly, I feel like that's a sentence said by the wife of Jeff Bezos every day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
After luncheon, Nancy left the house and made her way toward the business section of River Heights. The walk was a long one, but she took it at a brisk pace. Nancy naturally was athletic, and as she swung along, more than one passerby turned to look after her in admiration.
Look, she's walking so well! Let's all applaud Nancy and her walking skills! Holy shit, new walking champion!
After window shopping for a time, she wandered into a department store, more from curiosity than because she had anything to buy. She moved about aimlessly, gazing at whatever struck her fancy. Suddenly, guess who's here? Nancy's attention turned upon two girls who were hurrying down the aisle ahead of her. She stopped short and stared. Though their backs were turned, she knew who they were. Anna and Isabel Topham are back. I'm sure I don't want to tag them around. I'll just slip down another aisle.
Why do you keep doing this to yourself, Nancy? You know that they go shopping, and you know that they don't have any other hobbies. Why don't you just go to a fucking bar or something where they're not going to be?
Of course, Nancy decided not to do what she just said she was going to do, for at that very moment she saw Adek brush carelessly against a counter of expensive vases.
Ooh.
As her sleeve caught, a large, fragile bowl was swept to the floor. In horror, Nancy heard the crash and saw the bowl break into a dozen pieces. As Ada looked down upon the wreckage, a slight flush mounted to her cheeks. Then, with a toss of her head, she started to move on.
That's amazing. Damn, those ghosts. Yes, I'm afraid I must ask you to pay for the ball, a saleswoman interposed politely.
Ada Ada wheeled around angrily and stared at the saleswoman insolently.
I will not pay for it, she snapped. I didn't break it. It was Al-Qaeda. We all saw it. It was. But miss, I saw you knock it off the counter, the saleswoman protested.
By this time, the floor manager had arrived upon the scene, and a number of shoppers had gathered about Ada and the salesgirl. Nancy likewise drew closer. Ha 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 pun.
This impudent girl claims I broke a vase, Ada stormed, addressing the floor manager. Where's the ceiling manager? I want to go higher up. I wasn't even near the counter at the time. I was at home, asleep. I have an alibi. However, I did see her knock it to the floor herself. Isn't that so, Isabel? By the way, choice of the game. I don't even know who we're pointing at. Who's her? Who knocked over the vase, you think? Could it have been Mother Teresa? Or do you think it was Satan himself?
I'm gonna have to go. You know what? Satan himself is talking, right? So that's the answer.
Oh, that's exactly right. Remember that girl from The Exorcist? I can spin my head around too. Pea soup dispenser, black. Also, I ate Nancy's face.
You're just looking for a reason for me to do this, weren't you?
I was. I know you hadn't used it all day.
There it is. I keep it in a tab open just in case.
Yum, yum. Nothing goes better with peas.
Alright.
Solemnly, Isabel agreed to the untruth. Great.
The floor manager looked doubtfully from the Topham sisters to the saleswoman. He realized that it would be a serious error to accuse well-to-do customers falsely, and for that reason, he was inclined to give the Topham girls the benefit of the doubt. He stooped over and examined the fragments of the bowl.
Oh, tisk, tisk, tisk. Thankfully, since you've donated to my political campaign to be floor manager, you're off the hook. Someone must pay for the damage, he said severely. This is an expensive imported bowl from Indiana. Then let your clerk pay for it out of her salary. Oh my gosh, Ada retorted. Oh, it hurts my soul. If she hadn't been so stupid, she wouldn't have broken the vase. Oh.
What the heck is that sound?
It's just me. That's what I imagine Nancy's doing in the background. Dry heaving. Like, this can't be happening in front of me. Rich people can't be this obnoxious. It makes us look bad.
The saleswoman was too bewildered to take her own part, and Nancy saw that the floor manager was in a dilemma. As she sensed that he was about to exonerate Ada from all the blame, she stepped forward. You must be mistaken, Miss Topham. Oh, I'm sorry, I said that quietly. I am certain the saleswoman did not break the bowl, for I saw the accident myself.
Invited bitch face! What business do you have to interfere? Oh, Ada demanded harshly, wheeling upon Nancy. That's right, I'm riding a scooter!
I know, I'm just imagining she's on wheelies doing circles around Nancy. Perhaps it isn't my business, but I can't permit you to accuse this girl of something she didn't do.
You were here the whole time? Nancy, you're so quiet and unassuming. Get back in the closet. You saw the accident, miss, the floor manager questioned.
Yes, as Miss Topham walked by the counter, her sleeve caught on the vase.
I didn't even hear you say vase. Did you say that just so quiet?
Vase. There. In case you missed it.
It isn't true, Ada snapped. You go, girl. But I'm tired of this silly argument. How much do you want for your vase? Ooh, the floor man studied a price list. This is a menu from Denny's. $50.
Wow, it's expensive Denny's.
It's just paired up with the Grand Slam. Ada fairly screamed. Yeah, that's close enough. You want $50 for that old bowl? I'll never pay it.
Well, we could go back to arguing.
The vase was imported from Italy, miss. You know where that's where Domino's comes from. Just hungry, and I'm afraid you must pay the price asked. Do you know who I am? It inquired loftily. Oh, It's just getting worse. I think everyone in the city knows about the Richard Tophams. The floor manager returned wearily. I'm so glad we could witness this at least. My father owns... He doesn't own this store.
The man interrupted with growing impatience.
If you refuse to pay for the vase, I shall be forced to turn you over to the authorities.
Wow, that escalated.
Miss, I have a shotgun and I haven't used it to date, but I'm always ready for target practice. You wouldn't dare. Ada gasped. Never in all my life have I been insulted like this, except at every social event I've been to.
Isabel, who was slightly more reasonable than her sister, now held a whispered conference with Ada.
You convinced me. I don't know how. It's like, if we don't get back in time, we'll miss I Dream of Genie. Like, it's the 30s. I Dream of World War I. Okay, I'll pay for the bowl, Ada decided.
The Hogan's Heroes prequel series.
But let me warn you, on the matter won't be dropped here. I will take this to the Supreme Court, and I will get the 14th Amendment repealed.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what?
She turned upon Nancy Drew and eyed her coldly.
That's right. I'm eating Haagen-Dazs in front of you, and you can't stop me. I'm not through with you either, young lady. You'll pay for this outrage.
Nancy made no reply, but continued to smile pleasantly, an act which further enraged the Topham sisters. Hastily settling for the damage Ada had done, they sailed grandly out of the store on the boat that they probably stole.
That's amazing, right?
Gratefully.
Going back to Monaco, where we belong.
Future me, if you're listening to this, please make the thumbnail or the title for this something about sailing out of a department store. Gratefully, the saleswoman thanked Nancy.
I don't know how I appreciate the way you took my part. I couldn't have paid for the bowl, and if you hadn't said what you did to the floor manager, probably would have been discharged me. By the way, you know what was in the bowl the entire time? Carson, and he has a choice for you.
Oh my gosh.
That's right, once you broke it, the spirit of Carson Drew was released into the store, and he has a challenge for you. You have to buy something. Are you going to buy this bag of circus peanuts, or are you going to buy what is 10 king-size mattresses that you will stack on top of each other?
I want the king-size mattresses.
That's what you thought, but it's too high, and there's no ladder. You forgot to buy the ladder.
No!
So while I eat circus peanuts, you fall off the top, and you have permanent slumber.
I'll just expect
Fine,
you
we can share this.
I'm sorry?
We can share the circus peanuts.
Okay, never mind. I saw her break the bowl and I was determined to see justice done. There's my name and address if you need it. And Nancy handed the woman... Why did she have a card?!
Nancy Drew, woman who shops. Okay. It doesn't have, like, your X account, but I guess all this will work. I'm afraid you have made enemies by taking my part.
Dude, this is the past. It's Twitter still.
Oh, yes, yep. You?
Oh, is it me? Yeah, I think it is. But they may try to get even with you there. Oh, wait, no. It really doesn't matter. The Topham girls were never my friends.
But they may try to get even with you. And if they do, I want to sell tickets. They're very spiteful.
Let them try. Nancy smiled. I'll just make them answer one of Carson's choices of the game.
Ooh.
However, I don't believe there's any need to worry. Their talk is mostly bluff. Lightly, Nancy Drew dismissed the subject, and, as she found she was being regarded with curiosity and admiration by those who had witnessed the scene. Good job! She can walk and talk!
I was like the same thing. Damn, we followed her into the store and she just keeps getting better. Tomorrow she may juggle.
Nancy left the store. She walked slowly toward the park. It makes my blood fairly boil every time I think of Ada and Isabel Topham Getting all of the Crowley fortune, she yelled to the park with feeling.
Jazz hands.
Especially when Grace and Allie Warner need the money so badly. The way Ada tried to accuse that shop girl was disgusting.
I love how we have to spell out the moral lesson we took from that scene. Just in case you forgot.
Nancy crossed the public park and paused for a moment at the drinking fountain. As she glanced up, she saw that unwittingly she had, of course, selected the path Isabel and Ada Topham had taken. Upon leaving the department store, they too had gone to the park, and were now seated upon a bench engaged in earnest conversation. Their heads were close together, and, from the expression on their faces, Nancy suspected that they were discussing her. Unless she retraced her steps, it would be necessary to pass directly in front of them. If they see me, they are certain to say something mean, Nancy thought. And if they do, I'll be sure to lose my temper, I know. She decided impulsively. I'll take the path through the bushes! And avoid them! I can pass behind that bench and they'll never notice me. It's a good thing. Oh, wait, no, she did think that. Okay. I thought she was saying that aloud.
I will disguise myself as a giant panda, and I shall make a scene by playing Wonderwall to all those in the park. And
it's disguise time!
I shall jump on a trampoline and enter the stratosphere and float to the next continent to escape the Topham sisters.
Ada and Isabel were so engrossed in their conversation that they failed to notice Nancy crunching loudly through the bushes.
I'm going through the bushes. You can't see me here.
Chuckling to herself, Nancy left the sidewalk and quickly made her way down the path, which was shaded with overhanging bushes. She had no intention of attempting to overhear what the Topham sisters were saying, but as she noiselessly approached the bench where they were sitting, two words reached her ear, causing her to pause involuntarily. Ada was speaking, and the phrase which Nancy had accidentally overheard was the will. In a flash, her suspicions were aroused. She comprehended the significance of the phrase.
I'm sorry, I was like, it's just like... just imagine the shit that they could pass back and forth. It's like... penis enlargement. Nancy's aroused. Like, wait, what?
I don't know what that was supposed to be. It must be Josiah Crowley's will they're talking about, she reasoned. Perhaps they know something about the missing will. They may reveal what's become of it. With the instinct of a detective, Nancy crept cautiously toward the bushes. The bushes were thick, and by crouching low behind the bench, she was able to hear without being seen. Oh, if only she might learn something, which would prove that the Tophams had deprived the Horner girls of their inheritance.
Wow. I do love the relationship between the two sisters, because it feels like Isabel is obviously the smarter of the bunch, but every time that they're in public, all she does is just whisper swear words into Ada's ear, and then she just goes off on a frenzy. It's just, hey, I have a hint for you, Ada. It's like, no! I shall kill the saleswoman, and I shall burn down the store, and I shall eat the bowl.
Are you saying that she was Mary's ancestor?
Yes.
Works for me. See you next time for Chapter 6.
7.
Next week we're just going to read the same chapter again.